The Anniversary Cup. It is the final match in the last chance qualifier. We're going to determine one more team to make it to the playoffs. It's either going to be DDX or the Green Cats. And how the hell are the Green Cats here? Okay, this is maybe a little bit unfair. It's not how the hell are they here. How were they able to win their last series in the fashion that they did? It is insane. These guys have more than 9 lives. They have a lot more. This is 9 lives per player. I cannot believe what happened at last match when they were up against Team Madness. The final map in particular, I mean, what on earth went on there? Unbelievable. So now we get DDX against the Green Cats, and one of the two teams will advance after this best of 5 series straight to the playoffs. But it is just absolute insanity to me what happened in that last match. Like, this entire tournament has been bonkers. So many games that went to the 5th map. Massive turnarounds. Huge upsets in the group stage already. And now we come to this final match to determine the last team to make it into the playoffs. The Argan Lucio band, Blaze, Maiev are both out. DDX, they struggled a lot more in their last match than I expected them to. They won, but it came down to the wire at the end. So initially, looking just at this pairing in the last chance qualifier with the 4 teams that were fighting for the spot, I personally looked at that and I was like, DDX, with the performance that we saw in the regular group before they got eliminated there, I think they got it. And then they started to struggle. I would still say they are the favorite here, but I made the mistake of underestimating the Cats before. They picked Mephisto again. So now we got Mephisto here on the red team. I want to see how exactly DDX reacts to all of this. DDX had a fantastic showing in their first group stage. They weren't quite able to pull through, but they had fantastic games. Now we're going into Infernal Shrines, and with the D.Va not being banned out, we have, again, Virgil coming in and picking D.Va. So this is like, for people that watch the group stage, they actually realize, hey, this is just a thing for them. They love to play D.Va here, and Virgil really also showed why they picked D.Va. Like, on this map at least. They did a great job with this. Now, the normal group stage had a winner and a losers bracket. Here in the last chance qualifier, not so much. You have one shot and that is it. No losers bracket, no second chances. Whoever loses drops out. So now we got Chromie, we got D.Va, we have Leo and Anduin picked on the other side for the Green Cats. And with them, obviously, the opportunity now to also dominate maybe on the shrine itself. You have that wave clear that comes from Leoric. Murden gets banned. They don't want to deal with the storm bolts. And, well, with D.Va and Chromie already taken for DDX, let's see what we're getting here. Quick reminder as well, it's not going to matter for map number 1 because Chromie is already picked. But let's not forget that in the previous series, DDX played Sergeant Hammer with a completely different style. Not going into mobility with Sergeant Hammer on level 7, but instead focus on a Spider-Mine build. And they had at least... It was actually a really interesting build. And it worked exceptionally well at a minimum on 1 map. If you haven't seen it yet and you want to see something a bit out of the box, a little bit more unorthodox with Sergeant Hammer, I highly recommend that you go back into the previous series of DDX and check it out. So you can find it on YouTube, obviously. But again, if you haven't seen it yet and you're interested in a different Sergeant Hammer style, have a look there. Question for me personally is still a little bit, is that something that they're going to show later? Or is this just the thing that they tried and are they really following up on it? But just the attempt alone also makes it interesting. Brightwing and Diablo. Now with Diablo you still have a few more wall stuns available whenever the shrine fight actually breaks out. For the red team, the final 2 picks. Well, we still need the front line. Mal'Ganis and Tychus. Alright, Mal'Ganis and Tychus is in. And over on the blue team side, the final pick for map number 1. DDX. What are they gonna start up with here? What are we gonna get for them? They need more damage. Chromie alone is not gonna cut it for them, but still, they have already Diablo in, they got D.Va in, so are we gonna... Probably not a second mage, right? I mean, technically they still could. And we get Malthael, triple frontline, really trying to wreak havoc, with Malthael probably utilizing last rites too. Off we go! Map number 1, ladies and gentlemen. Infernal Shrines, DDX against the Green Cats. DDX on the left in game number 1. We have in the best of 5 series Lopaka now on Malthael. Virgil is playing D.Va. We get Shizakid on Diablo, starting things off with the Soul Shield. And then Brightwing, played by Darnasovsky, Dead Inside on Chromie. And on the right side, Guilty Spark with Anduin. We get J-Hard on Mal'Ganis, Drax on Leoric. Critical is playing Mephisto, and Dreoclick on Tychus. So, party time. Which team takes the lead here? D.Va starting things off once again with Full Metal. Keep in mind, this is not just some random pick for them. They've played this before in the group stage. And to an extent where teams started to ban D.Va out against them. Especially when Infernal Shrines was played. So let's see if they can do that again here. D.Va already sitting up at the top. Ooh, and Tychus! Press the advantage. We're gonna get that auto attack style again. Now, we have seen one performance of Tychus with a range increase on level 1. It was against Cho'Gall, and then it was, of course, on level 4, the bigger they are. But now, in this case, we could actually get in the rhythm here. Trying to get those stacks up. You want to have some... I mean, you have the slows. I was about to say, like, you got to have some stuns in the ideal world so that Tychus can stack a little bit more aggressively. But in this case, you have a lot of slows available. You have an Entomb later too, so as long as you lock a target into the attack range, you're going to be fine here. But it's always curious to see how hard they're following up with this. Now, over on the left side, we now have the first camp about to be taken too. With Lopaka on Mephisto, on Malthael, you obviously have a lot of damage potential on the Shrine as well. Especially once they're also starting to drop the ults in. And then you have Mephisto on the other side. Neo's already up at the top. Tychus. Yeah. Tychus is just at the end of the day, like, this is still one of the most popular skins that you have. You have obviously Suns Out, Guns Out, but tons of Tychus players. Still, that infested Marine style is still pretty awesome. Now, level 4 is kicking in. That's a bit of a moment of truth for Tychus. I want to see if he tries to extend the duration of his minigun. That's always a nice little mini game for him, but also tons of damage that he can push out during a fight. And there it is. And big start. That is massive. Huge. 12 stacks already with the first duration and the first hit. That's actually that's great. For Tychus, it's always, if you get the first few minigun rotations in against a hero that is more or less stationary, that is the dream, because it will just accelerate the progress that you're making later on. You exponentially start to stack this up, and getting this many stacks against Diablo with the first attempt is already a big play. So, yeah, very, very nice. Obviously, still a question of what exactly they can do as their first fight breaks out over the shrine here in the middle. All the way on the top left, we have Virgil just trying to properly time the camp. Over on the right side, now the move by the red team to essentially execute the same play here. Obviously want to have their camps clash, but they gotta hurry a little bit because this is a Frozen Punisher, and those bad boys, they hit hard. They hit really hard. So Tychus is now moving in, and again gets the stacks in. Very good stacks, 24. That is awesome for them. But they are trailing heavily behind on the minion stack. So that is the flip side of the coin here. While Tychus might be doing well with his stacks, they are still about to lose the objective unless they're stepping it up a bit here. Tychus might be able to get another rotation through though, and that would be neat for him. And yep, that's exactly what happens. So he's getting a few more stacks in. He's sitting at 35 now, which is a huge lead. And the red team is actually starting to get also some minion stacks. So they might still have a chance of getting that first Punisher. They are trailing a bit behind though. Tychus with even another rotation in, and just works it to 50 stacks already. That damage increase is bonkers. But the blue team, they lose Diablo, but they take the objective. Combat Tactician on level 7. And honestly, with 50 stacks for Tychus, this is about as good a start as I've ever seen with that level 4 talent for Tychus. It really doesn't get much better than that. So he's going to have a huge minigun duration as the game continues. He's on 13,000 damage because of that already. Teammates were helping him out to get the stacking process going here. And that's going to be nice auto attack damage as the game continues. Dead inside, dies, he goes down. That's the second kill for the Green Cats as they are defending in the middle. So this is a really good start for the red team. So 2 kills to 0, and DDX has won the objective, but not much more. They didn't even get a lot of damage out of this. I mean, the wall is still intact, okay? This is what we're looking at right now. The wall is still intact, and with a bit of momentum that the red team has built up, they're now making moves for the camp, and they're taking it. 61 stacks for him already. Alright. At 100, he has a 3-second advantage. So it's now 1.5 seconds already of an extended duration. And they are getting the kill on Maltail, so he's now sitting at 77. This is going to be bananas. I've never seen Tychus do this well on this level of play with a level 4 talent. Now, to be fair, we don't see the level 4 talent a whole lot. But whenever it gets played, it doesn't get stacked this crazily. So, yeah, that is damn good. I mean, normally you would still want Odin here, though. We've seen them play Drill once, and they do it again. This is still Infernal Shrines, but they don't care. They go for Drill regardless. I mean, they want to get all the damage out, full auto attack style, and obviously you don't really benefit from this if you're starting to go into Odin form. But, yep, more stacks are coming in. 91 for him now, and he's just firing away. 18,000 damage now for Tychus. Talking about hard carrying this one. Yeah, next attack is already coming in. Tychus is back at it. They get the kill on Brightwing, and he's now, a little bit low, but will survive, I suppose. He doesn't run into the Chromie damage. 102 stacks. He's already at a 3-second extension on this. Works even a few more in. They get another kill. Malthael is dead, and it just continues. Brightwing falls too. Holy crap, what is happening here? Full rotation from the minigun. Diablo is dead. 120 stacks. This is like an endless amount of trade value that Tychus is getting here. 7 kills against 0. 2 level advantage. And they're just breaking through the top lane like it's nothing. Going through DDX like hot butter through cheese. Absolute bonkers. And not even stopping. They go for D.Va at the top. 140. What is happening here? We're 7 minutes in. D.Va is dead. Tychus finally dies. Went maybe a little bit too deep on that last kill. But can you blame him? That's insane. These cats have 45 lives at a minimum. And now, yeah, Tychus is desperately needed for that fight at the top. That's honestly the only saving grace for DDX, that it's a 4 versus 5 for now. They might walk away with another Punisher as it happens for that simple reason alone. But yep, up at the top, Maltail is now making his moves. Now, obviously, in addition to all of this, we now have level 10 abilities that might change the momentum a bit. It doesn't change the fact that we're going to see some absolute crazy numbers coming out of Tychus no matter what happens here. No last rites, by the way. Maltail instead went for the Tormented Souls. Tychus is now back to business. Blue team is ahead on the stacks. The Drill is already on the ground. Has actually done damage in previous iterations of those fights. And now Tychus is coming back in. D.Va gets trapped here. And Tychus is just saying hello. The Drill is still getting value, by the way. They're drilling D.Va, and she's dead again. This is crazy. Malthael also gone. 163 stacks already. Guys, he has nearly a 6-second cooldown increase. No, sorry, not cooldown increase. 6-second duration increase here. Brightwing is gone. That's going to be the end of Diablo. He's gone too. They're playing Heroes of the Storm Whack-A-Mole here. Whenever a hero pops up, they immediately take him down. The fort is already destroyed. It's nuts. This is honestly nuts. I don't even know what I'm watching here. These cats are insane. They've gone feral. 40,000 damage on Tychus. Compare this to the rest. We have 20,000 on Mephisto. On Mephisto! And only 24,000 on Malthael. And Tychus is just coming in again. Minigun after minigun after minigun. He's at 200 stacks already. And they're murdering everything in their path. The blue team actually takes the Punisher, by the way. The blue team has the Punisher. Now they lose Chromie. Tychus just sits there, goes for the next hit, and he just turns it and turns it and turns, and he's like, who's next? The Punisher ends up with DDX, which is also crazy. I guess now finally Tychus gets killed again. But that bad boy is at 220 stacks. His damage output is bonkers. There's still a 2-level gap between the two teams. It's 2 kills to 13. Now, stacks don't win games. So they still have to be careful with this. Structures, this might be a fort that gets lost at the top. And you should not count DDX out. They can still take this one. They definitely can. Malthael playing around this. He is... Sorry. Yeah, well... Malthael now coming in. Malthael is actually at the bottom of the map. Sorry, I was talking about this guy. Bad boy. He's gone. Mephisto. Yeah, so Malthael, Mephisto, and Mal'Ganis. All the M's are in this game. And they killed 2 more. So... we might be fascinated by the damage output on all of the stacks that Tychus is getting, but again, all of this has to amount to something. And they got 13 kills. They have an early level 16 talent, but it doesn't change the fact that they now lost the first fort. To be fair, they also took a fort out. So it's not like they didn't get anything with all the kills that they got in that lead. But they're losing a little bit of ground at the bottom of the map. They're losing a little bit of more ground here in the middle now. So this is not a done deal yet. As much as the Cats are ripping them apart in team fights, or at least previously have done that, this is not over. Tychus is a huge threat, has the minigun again. And some people might actually not know this, so I'm just saying it. Whenever he uses minigun, the front of the gun here is actually red, is looking completely red. Pretty much everybody that watches this probably knows this. There might be a couple of newer players that are not aware of that. But take a look at this. Take a look how long he has his minigun right now. How long he has his trade. You can actually watch it. It's crazy. He walks around the entire team fight, re-engages twice, and it's just like, yeah, this thing lasts forever. It doesn't matter, though, if your frontline dies. So Mal'Ganis is now gone. Tychus is going to try and set records here. But this is another fort gone. So DDX is slowly starting to stabilize here. They got their butt kicked earlier. But now we have 16 versus 16. Same talents. The gap in experience is close. Look at the experience lead, by the way, in Heroes. Hero experience over here. 8,000 with the 7 kills that they got against the 13,000 that the Green Cats... sorry, the 7,000 that the Green Cats got with 13 kills. And that is as a result of the late game heroes being killed compared to the early game heroes. So, Diablo trying to get out of this one again. Tychus is immediately ready for even more auto attack damage. They want to burn Chromie down. She goes for the timeout. And, yeah, they're still burning it. Sizzling attacks on already. Tychus gets killed. 8 kills to 14. And Chromie survived. This is bananas. I don't know what's more crazy. The way that the Cats are playing or the way that DDX is playing. This is just nuts. They go for Diablo. He finally dies. Seems like they can get kills in after all. But now at the top, there's also a catapult and a camp. They're losing parts of the wall here. Somebody needs to deal with this. And the next shrine is activated. What is this series? This is game number 1. And it's already insane. Absolutely crazy. So right now we have the camps claimed. Again, we have the objective coming up. Tychus is closing in slowly on 300 stacks. Which, by the way, increases the minigun duration by 9 seconds if he gets there. Yep, and he's already... Looking how Diablo just disappears. Diablo's just sitting there. Help! Lord of Terror? No, I don't think so. He's just asking for help. Now the explosion. But Leo dies. Anduin is gone. And that is Tychus on the run. They're getting farmed now. They're getting absolutely farmed here. The game has flipped. The dynamic has totally flipped. Even with Tychus melting Diablo into oblivion whenever he sees him, this has totally turned. 71,000 damage from Tychus, and it just feels like it doesn't matter anymore. 10 kills against 15. They are catching up. Level 19 versus level 19. D.Va is on the point, getting the Punisher for the team. And they are pushing for the middle. Yeah. Tychus is sitting at the top, defending. They definitely need him here. And Mal'Ganis nearly died. So, well, this is a wild one. Tychus is still trying to do some damage here. They want to bait, obviously, first of all, the Punisher over, so they have a bit of an easier defense. But the first tower is already getting destroyed. There's the jump, and whoa, Mephisto nearly died. Tychus wanted the kill on Diablo and just missed the grenade barely, so he can't take him out. But yeah, there's the next quick attack coming through as we have the level 20 talents ready for DDX. There's the jump. They're hoping to take Mal'Ganis out. He tries to escape, makes it, just needs to stay away from the Punisher. But this keep is still gonna fall. The keep is gone, and now the team moves down to the bottom. They were chasing Leoric, but of course they're going to try and take the fort now out as well. Both teams are now on level 20 talents, which means that we're going to get the bob and weave for Tychus. So, attack range increase, even better for him. We get Mimic and lots of power tools for the green cats. But the cats are green with envy, because they are losing control of the game. They're a little bit jealous of what DDX pulls off here, especially after they were the ones just getting kill after kill. Quick reminder, they had a 13 kill lead. They were 13 kills ahead. Now it's 4. They had a 2-level advantage, and it's all gone. Tychus with 313 stacks now. His minigun essentially lasts for the entire team fight at this point. That's what's going on here. The entire team fight is basically where he is able to just take this. So now we have, yeah, Critical sitting here in the middle. They are hoping for kills. They need those kills. Can they maybe burn Diablo down? There's the wall stun. Mal'Ganis. D.Va in the back instantly going for Anduin. But she gets burned down too. Virgil trying to escape the explosion. And back in the mech. D.Va is making it happen. So, kill against Malthael. Finally, a little bit of a sign of life for the Green Cats. I don't know what that drill was supposed to accomplish, but okay. They were already running. Drill only works if you're pushing into someone. By the way, Leo went for the Burning Despair. Who's despairing? Diablo. Diablo is despairing a lot. So, well, with that, we now have 11 kills to 17. And Mal'Ganis, yeah, they are a little bit in the driver's seat again. Okay, so, all the way up at the top, Virgil just starting to slowly make his move for the camp to take this one out. They gave up the fort in the middle, so Virgil is just like trying to take the wave out, make this move there, get rid of all of the minions, wait for the rest of the team. They obviously need the 5-man back on the map. Diablo, by the way, died with 92 soul stacks. So, yeah, 92 soul stacks for him. And there is the shrine at the top. Still a fort in play at the bottom of the map. But now they've gotten a few additional kills again. I'm just laughing every time that I look at Tychus. 355 stacks. This is ridiculous. And I can guarantee you that Diablo is not enjoying this game anymore. So this is a frozen Punisher. It seems like they're actually just letting this one go. They're taking a couple of camps. They're not going for the top. 68,000 damage for Malthael. I'm honestly a little bit surprised that he didn't go Last Rites. I think as a finisher move, Last Rites would have been really good for them. They have a lot of AoE that they can use in these battles now. But the Frozen Punisher will be taken. And how exactly is the blue team now trying to use this? Because are they just attempting to race the opponent? You don't have an actual global. You have Brightwing. That's not the same thing. So, yeah. They are going to force their hand at the top, I suppose. Defense at the bot lane is already coming in. It's such a crazy game. Oh boy. Oh boy. Alright. They are totally willing to delay this objective as long as they can. We're nearly 20 minutes in. 39 stacks. Leo is going to take it now. Leo comes in. They got the Frozen Punisher. I guess they're just going to push the... Well, no, they're actually halting. They're trying to defend here. They're not trying... I was actually expecting that they were attempting to push for the keep a little bit. Force the red team to go back. Try and hearth. And then defend against the Punisher. Play around them a little bit. So... yeah. But they are actually trying to just defend this straight up. Just baiting vision, pushing that over, and going for straight up defense. And Tomb, that didn't do anything for them. So far the defense is pretty solid here. The wall is being destroyed. I think the keep might fall as well, but unless they're getting kills, there's no way they can go for the core. And the keep in the mid lane, obviously, has been destroyed on the red team side. So there is now camp pushing in together with the first catapult. So it's a keep for a keep that was essentially destroyed in this game. They're not pushing this too hard just now. But, yep, double catapult even. If they can stop them a little bit longer, that would help. But there's already the hearth happening from Leo, uninterrupted. They didn't scout this one out. So, yes, the catapults are initially trying to get some damage done here. But this is not really going to be a problem whatsoever. Down at the bottom of the map, they're going to deal with this too. Catapults, of course, at the 21-minute marker starting to also hurt. But they're trying to steal the camp, I guess. A trap would have been nice as well. But they're going to get the camp. Tychus is a bit too slow to rotate up towards the top in order to help them out here. So, yeah. That's not going to be a thing. Damage output, 99,000 for Tychus. So he's going to end up in the 6-digit club. No matter what happens. Going to cross over the 100,000 threshold. He's a menace. He's an absolute menace now. Diablo just looks at... Diablo looks at him, Tychus looks back, and all of a sudden Diablo's losing hit points. Doesn't even have to attack anymore. Diablo's like, alright, I'm gonna lose it for you. He's gonna end up on 400 at a minimum. Yeah, they jump in the back. Oh, Mephisto! Malthael, they came in swinging here, but they cannot get the kill. Oh, they lose Brightwing, and they lost Malthael. And here comes Tychus with 422 stacks. Oh boy, that one was a rough one. I understand the urge to come in and try and get these kills, but at the same time, now they lost 2. They were going for a flank attempt into the back line, and how exactly are the cats now reacting to this? They have a lot less tournament experience than DDX. It's not like they have none, but a lot less. So apparently they're pushing for the keep here. If they can get follow-up kills on this one, this would be massive for them. Diablo's just trying to delay them a bit as best as he can, but he also needs to be careful that the Entombment is not hitting them. Entombment is back in 4 seconds. So they open the wall up slowly. It was an interesting approach, honestly. They thought that they could just jump into the backline and get a kill, and they were so close to take Mephisto down. But that flank backfired. Now, it didn't cost them too much. As everything settles, still fine. Could have cost them a lot more here. But it's a 5 versus 5 now, and the question remains, are they going to fight for the shrine? Yes or no? 120,000 damage. These numbers are crazy. They're crazy. So, yeah, there's the next fight potentially. Brightwing has to come in. Diva's already boosting out. Camp has been taken. And Tychus keeps missing these grenades. They're a little bit too short range. That's the problem when you don't go for a grenade build. Light bomb. Diablo. The drill. They commit. Diva needs to get out of here. The drill is doing work, by the way. Lopaka also escapes. I can't believe that I just said that. The drill is doing work. But the sad truth is, it's actually really a thing. So now they're engaging into the fight again. I'm not quite sure if they can win this. Their core is also soon going to be attacked. There's a catapult and the camp pushing in. Who gets the kills? Mephisto? Well, they try and get a kill here. Malthael, he survives. Tychus is gone. Tychus is gone. 463 stacks. Tychus with 140,000 damage is dead. This is the chance right here. This is your opportunity to get an objective and also deal with the core, because if not, the catapults are gonna rip you a new one. Somebody has to go back. It's D.Va. They're losing hit points on the core, but they still need to fight for the objective. It's going to be a 4 versus 4 battle without Tychus. D.Va is dealing with the catapults. 80%, 76% on the core. It is Leo that dies first. Can they get more kills? They want them, and they're going to get them. That is Anduin gone. All of a sudden, 3 heroes are dead. They want Mephisto too, and they kill them all. Mephisto is dead. They need to end the game right now. The Arcane Punisher is already taken. They're still stunning and slowing. The other guy, Malgan, is out. And here's the push for the core. The Cats are experiencing what Team Madness experienced in the last series. Tychus at 140,000. He wants the 400, the 500 stacks. Let's see if he can at least get that. The core is already falling as Tychus is trying to prevent the inevitable. Oh, over here, the catapults. Big damage on the core as well. 30% to 50, 26. Everybody dies. This can't be happening. Right wing. No, they lose 7% on the core. You gotta be kidding me. You can't be serious. Tychus has exactly 500 stacks. 500 stacks for Tychus, 157,000 damage, a full 5-man wipe, Leo resurrecting, and that is gonna be it. If the Punisher had been taken by DDX, they would have won the game here. I thought they would win it regardless, but not so much. The Cats with the victory. What is going on here? It's a W on Infernal Shrines for the red team. This is just insane. What the hell?
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet, so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
I'm honestly at a loss for words a little bit. The Cats are in the lead. They've made some kind of pact with the devil. I don't know if they promised him their firstborn or what exactly is going on here. But how is this possible? I mean, first of all, they're playing Tychus with an auto attack build. They're absolutely demolishing the opponent team, melting them away. Then they get killed, totally outplayed by the blue team, who apparently stabilizes and gets all of their tournament experience into play. And just for the game to end with Tychus getting 4 kills, 5 kills, an entire team wipe, and them crossing the map with 7% on their own core. Tychus ending up with 500 stacks on his level 4 talent, and they just win it. And all of this comes of them essentially doing the exact same thing in the previous series. How much, I don't want to say how much luck can you have. There's an old saying, Skill is wenn Luck zur Gewohnheit wird. And it just epitomizes exactly what's happening here. At this point, it can't be luck anymore. It's just insane. Also, on the last objective, the green cats actually YOLO'd into the shrine to take the Punisher. I didn't even point it out anymore because I was like, well, they just all died, so the blue team is just going to walk over and take the core down. Imagine for a moment if the blue team actually takes the Punisher. Game's over. Punisher is doing damage and is going to take the core. But the way that this played out... like, I still can't wrap my head around what just happened there. Crazy. Merlin Rhaegar, the early picks for DDX. I'm just looking at the green cats and I'm like, what is going on now? What is the next pick? They actually talked a little bit about the stacks on Tychus, and they said, like, I had to press my trade once per team fight. They had a 15-second increase, not total duration, increase on the trade. It was a non-stop minigun. Li Ming and Brightwing are now in. So we got a double global already on Garden of Terror for the red team. But yeah, it's wild. Absolutely wild. And I love that the game also ended with him sitting on exactly 500 stacks. Not one more, not one less. It's the perfect amount. A record that still needs to be broken. I think most people are going to have trouble reaching that number, even if they're just playing an ARAM. Even if they're just going for a normal Heroes Brawl, where you have a 5 versus 5 fight the entire time, and get connect after connect, I think even there you're struggling with that. So, Zeratul gets banned, Diablo gets banned out too. And the blue team, I would assume, is going to take this very seriously now. I still want to know if at some point we're going to get that Sergeant Hammer build back. So, is that a thing that Dead Inside is considering right now? Well, apparently not. We're getting Cassia instead, and we're getting Blaze. And, yeah. With that, now the final 2 picks for the Green Cats. Surprise me. It feels the team has always to be behind at some point to just win one fight and all of a sudden, you know, turn the game around. Doesn't matter when they win the fight, even if it's happening right underneath their core as the core is falling. As the blue team attacked the core, I thought there was no chance that they're not going to win this. And just towards the end, I was like, wait a moment. What on earth is going on here? Zagara and Melganis now. So we have with the Zagara another hero that has a lot of push pressure. I would love for Zagara, by the way, to go Nidus here, and all of a sudden we're getting some wild thing again from the Green Cats, where they are playing a triple global with Zagara being a pseudo global using a Nidus network. All kinds of crazy stuff. But our final pick for map number 2, Garden of Terror, is Abathar. There we go. The Slug is in their house. Last time they all of a sudden deviated away into the Vikings. Now they know that Abathar is the real king of Garden of Terror, so they lock him in. The Slug is here. We're going to the second map of the best of 5. Wild, wild, wild. Alright, show me what you got. Show me what you got. What are we now getting on map number 2? Let me guess. The blue team takes the lead and the Cats win it. DDX on the left side, assumably very unhappy with what played out on the first map. Lopaka with Abathar. We have Danazovsky on Rega, Shizakid on Murden, Virgil on Blaze, and Dead Inside with Thunderstroke on level 1 playing Cassia for the team. The Cats, on the other hand, on the right side with Jayhard on Mal'Ganis. We got Drax on Dehaka, Guilty Spark on Brightwing, Critical on Zagara, and we get Dreoclick on Leeming. So we had a quick pause because apparently Zagara was a little bit late to the party. They apologize, she's back, and with that we are good and ready to go. On level 1 we get Stormcaller for Rega. Down to the bottom of the map we have the 3-man already pushing out here. In this case, it's Brightwing with Hypershift. We're getting Zagara with Corpse Feeders. And of course, ooh, we have a Toxic Nest build for Abathar. Alright, they didn't go for Symbiotes, but instead they're trying to slow rotations down. And that, talking about rotations, that is a really nice attack. Now, the flank is coming, and they're hoping to get a kill here, of course. But it seems like everybody is able to get... no, they're losing Brightwing. I think this is still a fair trade. Brightwing is a hero that nobody likes in the first place. Universally hated because people don't like fruit flies. And that includes, of course, the red team themselves. They have to kind of act like they do because it's on the same team. But they took a tower down. That's a worthy trade here. So that kind of works. It's always annoying when you're trying the same play with Sylvanas and then you die mid-tower, but if you take the entire thing down, then I think sacrificing a hero that can be back with you in a couple of seconds by using the global is absolutely okay. So, yeah, I think in this case, hashtag worth it. Now, as the pressure mounts up at the bottom, Abathar, look at this, apparently baiting a little bit. Yeah, showing the Haka, the worm, and it's like, eat me, but no. The Dehaka is now moving back towards the top. Abathar can try and bait him as much as he wants, but at the end of the day, the Dehaka is not going for it yet. But, well, if Abathar overplays his cards a little bit on this one, then I suppose the global will eventually snack him up. Now, with 1 kill to 0 for the blue team, they're starting to get a couple of stacks together. Rhaegar, Cassia, 2 of them. And, yeah, they're just playing against Zagara as best as they can. The challenge for the blue team is, of course, the fact that they currently only have 4 bodies on the map. Abathur doesn't really count here, so when it comes to hit point pools, this is something that you still need to make up for a little bit. Mal'Ganis against Muradin. This is going to be the slowest duel that you've ever observed in your entire life. Brightwing is trying to make it a bit more exciting by helping out, obviously violating the rules of a proper duel and not respecting the 1v1, which we know is a mortal sin. We have now Prolific Dispersal, so full-on Toxic Nest commitment, which likely is also going to lead to the according level 7 choice, which would mean no Mule for Abathur, which is the only hero in the game that still has Mule. Turanda had it back in the day, Malfurion had it. By the way, Zagara didn't have any hit points. She was taking the camp, so now the camp is stolen and Zagara dies. That's a great start for DDX. It doesn't get much better than that. Just coming in to steal the camp away from your opponent is awesome. Absolutely brilliant. So good news for them. They're going to be very happy with this. And while Muradin is at this point helping the team out at the bottom of the map whenever he can, we have Blaze. I don't want to say full control of the top lane, but definitely doing a great job because he was able to sneak that camp in as well. So that's a half-level lead for the blue team. Already going for the first seed now as well. Likely going to be able to lock this one in, and they do. As in the middle of the map, Zagara has now gone for the Envenomed Spines here. I would have not been surprised to see the auto attack stacks come in and her ending up with an insane amount and just brutalizing the opponent's team. At this point, honestly, whenever I see anything on the side of the green cats that could potentially snowball the game, no matter how unlikely it is, I'm like, yeah, I can see that happen. Yeah, totally. Not surprised at all. At some point, they must run out of this, but it's crazy. These guys always land on their feet. They have more than 3 legs, so that's probably why. Also, we don't have Calamity. Seeker. Seeker on level 7. Build that we've seen a few times now against Sergeant Hammer, for example. But, yeah, Li Ming is trying to go for that on-point damage here. Was very heavily attacked at the bottom of the map. By the way, talking about heavy attacks, Dehaka is also in a bit of a pickle. Tried to hearth a couple of times and gets always interrupted. That's actually very annoying for him because he is continuing to lose time here. Battle at the bottom of the map has also not paused, so they are continuously pushing for the fort. But the red team is now responding, trying to get a kill here. Oh, but the lick on Cassia. That should be the end of her. That's the first kill for the green cats here. Rhaegar on the run. And they want to get more than only one kill. Muradin, another connect, and that's another kill. So there's the double kill. The cats now even in kills with DDX. I'm telling you, they're gonna do it again, aren't they? This is the most fascinating team ever to me right now. They're insanely fascinating here. It's honestly just incredible. I really have trouble believing some of the results that we're seeing here. Like, they won against Team Ash in the losers bracket of Group A. That's the only series that they won. They lost to the three-legged cats without taking a map. And then they had to play again against the three-legged cats, and they got once again demolished without taking a single map. And now they're doing this. Brightwing is going down over here. So that's another kill against the red team. Seems like DDX is starting to stabilize a little bit. But now here's the move against J-Hard. And that's kill number 2, isn't it? Level 10 abilities are also ready. Zagara dies, and that's a triple in total. 3 heroes removed, so the blue team builds up momentum. And DDX, of course, with a very successful group stage. They didn't make it out of the group, but they were so close. So they actually won against the Enjoyers in the winner bracket. They also took victory without dropping a single map against Surge Energy. And then DDX lost in the winner bracket final, had to play in the losers bracket final again against the Enjoyers, and the entire series went down to the 5th map. So it was an absolutely incredible battle, and it was just such a close game, such a close series. DDX could have very well been the team to make it to the playoffs directly. Instead, they're now fighting off against the cats, against the green cats, not the three-legged ones, and they're behind. But they're taking a bit of a lead here. And then again, Mirrodin just survives through the Ancestral. Teams are both hitting with level 10 abilities as they're going for the next C. This would be the second one for one of the two teams. We got Brightwing, by the way, with Emerald Wind. 5 kills to 2 in total. And the blue team pushing. I mean, nice connect on the Stormbolt. I suppose if Cassia had Valkyrie instead of her actual ult, they might have been tempted to follow up on this. But yeah, couldn't do a whole lot here. Mal'Ganis still an absolute bang at the front. More against Blaze. Abathar can help out. Could go for the copy. Hasn't done yet. Here it comes. Double Blaze. They're going for another jet propulsion here and a few additional slows. So heavy utility. And they are going for the Haka. He's nearly destroyed. Mal'Ganis is coming in again. Big sleeper setup. They're trying to tee up Li Ming for another kill. But she can't quite get it. Gets close though. She wants the reset. Hasn't found them yet. But there's the kill on the copy. The copy is down, but Brightwing has also fallen. And now with the Stormbolt, they're stopping Mal'Ganis. They want to drop him too. The Haka comes in with a lick. And somehow the blue team is still alive. Brightwing has been eliminated, but the blue team has somehow still been able to make all of that work. Abathar pushing a little bit further up. Still needs to be careful because there's vision thanks to the map, thanks to the wall. But he can get, of course, his locusts in to assist the push at the top. But the channel on the seed is now through. So they're grabbing the second one. They are now in the lead and could technically get an objective, the first set of Garden Terrors, if they're able to channel the next one as well. Li Ming is top damage in the game. Bottom fort is now getting attacked by the blue team, who have Cassia as their top damage dealer with 23,000. And they need to try and make the move there. So, Shizakid starting to... well, he's starting to fall back a little bit now that the minions are obviously gone. We still have the push power in the middle of the map as Zagara is moving in again to try and unleash a full ability combo. And the Haka is helping to put the final hit points down on that tower, so they destroy that quickly. Li Ming committing with glass cannon, so he's trying to stay behind and is looking for those glass cannon hits. Ancestral, nice. The more against Cassia, but can they get the kill? Yeah, the Haka comes in with another Tong Connect, and that's Cassia gone. Even with the Ancestral, that was just a little bit too much for her to handle. So 6 kills to 3. As the Green Cats get another kill and another lick connect. Here come the stuns and Brightwing falls. Those double Blaze plays with a copy of Abathar are actually doing a lot. Got the oil spill in. Greenpeace is not going to be too happy. The oil spill gets doubled, so they're going to be very, very mad. But the blue team at least is happy about that. They get the utility of the stuns, of the slows. So far, it actually works for them. It's 7 kills to 3 though, and a 1-level lead, and with a seed easily taken, this means that we're now getting a lot, well, 3 Garden Terrors. And a lot of pressure against the Green Cats. So a few forts should fall here. Brightwing again with a bit of a disengage tool. Oh, when the combos hit with the glass cannon Li Ming, they, like they just did against Cassia, their hit points are falling rapidly. But Brightwing gets again murdered, absolutely crushed. Mirrodin, jump, stun, the damage is there, Cassia follows up, and bam, down goes the Fruit Fly. They're slapping it away everywhere they can find it, and Brightwing has actually fallen a lot, and now they're going for Mal'Ganis, and he obviously has the hit point pool to really make this a difficult one, but he's also suffering and has to retreat here. So they've taken the fort out in the middle. They're now moving towards the fort at the bottom of the map. They've locked in the level 16 talent. With 13, we already got the spatial efficiency here for Abathar, and we got Adrenaline Boost on 16. Rhaegar is also nearly done with his quest, sitting at 198 stacks on level 1. The Toxic Nests, obviously, the entire time also used to just slow people down on the rotation, a little bit as a scout tool as well, and just section areas off a little bit. Zagara is trying to get vision with her creep tumors, but they've been cleared up pretty nicely. There's a lot of heroes that can deal with that. Blaze, Muradin particularly, but of course also Rhaegar with a lightning shield. So they can take those creep tumors out very easily, and this is currently playing into the hands of DDX. They are not allowing Zagara to gain any massive amounts of map control for the red team, which makes a lot of this much, much harder. 16 talents are now available on both sides, but we, with that, get now the corrosive saliva, and we have mirror ball. But the push at the bottom of the map is still going to hurt. I mean, there's a siege giant camp and also a bruiser camp that they can use to break through the wall. Maybe even get a bit more. Depends on a whole lot of whether or not they can get kills. The Haka comes in from behind. Stormbolt misses. The jet propulsion doesn't though. And here's again the copy. Blaze with another copy. Looks for another stun. Gets the double stun here. And there's just so much CC with these slows. And Brightwing is dead again. Murdered time and time again as another jet propulsion connects, and it ends up with another kill. Double Blaze is something that the Cats apparently cannot deal with. 10 kills to 3 now, and yeah, they have a massive lead in experience. They're getting the next seed. Abathar at the top is getting into slap range immediately, as apparently there's still a problem on the red team side. They already paused the game earlier. Back then, it was Critical that had to drop out for just a second, so I don't know if somebody actually disconnected during the last fight or what exactly the problem is. But be that as may, they are having a tough time here. By now, you're looking at the damage output. We're having Li Ming on 50,000. She's top damage in the game. It just doesn't translate really into kills. So we have now 35,000 damage for Abathar. Blaze is sitting at 30,000 damage, Cassia at 33,000. They just have so much CC, and they're using it perfectly to CC chain them. And look at Brightwing. Brightwing is the big loser of this game. 6 deaths on Brightwing. That's way too much. They have no blink heal. They're trying to play this with an Emerald Wind, but nothing has really worked out for the Cats the way that they really wanted here. And now they have to break that cycle a bit. They've gotten a couple of kills early on. They haven't lost the keep yet, which is obviously still a bit of a win from their perspective. But they also haven't taken a single fort out. So that's another problem. All the way at the top, Abathar still sitting tight here. And they're going for more camps. Level 20 is going to be the next talent for DDX, and they are 2 levels ahead. So it should be an easy one for them. Even timing the camps from the looks of it. Yeah, trying to get siege giants on both sides. And here's the next seed that's spawning. That would be the second one for either team, whichever takes it. Yeah, in comes Mal'Ganis. Oh, the damage from Li Ming! Damn! And they are absolutely wrecking Muradin. He gets saved by Rhaegar, but wow. That was, I mean, honestly, him surviving was great, but look at that damage output. Check this out here. Bam, instantly half of the hit points gone. Has to pop Abathar, and then in comes Mal'Ganis again. They're attempting to follow up, and Muradin just barely gets out of this. Huge play by the Cats, but it was not enough. In comes Blaze with the first jet propulsion. Abathar copy could go for the second, but missing the first one is obviously already annoying, but they're putting pressure on Li Ming now, who has obviously glass cannon. So that pressure play is a problem. She needs to retreat. She takes too much damage from the copy. And instead, the Haka now falls. So with the Haka gone, that means that we have a 5 versus 4. And the seat at the top is now going to be a freebie. Level 20 talents are ready for DDX, which at this point just means we get the copy upgrade. We got Elemental Conduit for Rhaegar. And over here, the Rock Stopper for Cassia. So they steal the camps that they can steal away. They're getting ready for the seed. And this will put them in range of a second objective for the team. So, yeah, they're looking mega strong. 56,000 damage for Li Ming. Game number 1, very different situation. But right now, I would still not count the Cats out. I've seen too many of their games so far. I would be more scared than anything in this spot. When you think you're winning, this is just when you're about to lose the game against them. 40,000 damage for Abathar. With level 20 advantage, they're pushing for the bottom keep now. You gotta be careful that Li Ming doesn't get kills and resets. But they should be able, of course, to siege up a bit here. Ults are all ready, which means that we have the copy available again if needed. But there's the lick and the kill. Brightwing with the isolation. There's the kill right there. Rhaegar with another Ancestral, but Cassia came in deep and killed Zagara. But she gets still dragged back in by the Haka, and that means we have the second kill for the Green Cats. And this gives them a major boost in experience. They're now only half a level away from level 20 talents. Yep, Avatar copy still up for a little bit longer. They're getting a few more stuns from that. The red team is still chasing this a little bit, but they're realizing also that another kill is highly unlikely. Burning the Avatar copy down is not going to do too much for them. But yeah, so that's that gone. But we have now level 20 for them in a moment. So they are on a fighting level again. Brightwing with the intensive winds. We now got the Seeker Swarm from Mal'Ganis. And Repulsion plus Pack Instinct on the side of Li Ming and Zagara. So the bottom 4 is going to be the first one that falls on the blue team side. A little bit of a comeback moment for the Green Cats. It's not enough yet, of course, but this is still a nice start. They want to take a couple of camps here. They also have to deal with their top lane because Abathur has escorted some minions in, and it includes a catapult, which at the 17-minute mark has done some damage to the keep. Stormbolt, they're trying to slow that down, yeah. This would be, of course, another objective for DDX, and that would cost the red team keeps. Stormbolt missing there, but the Haka is low. The Haka is very, very low. Bunker is out. Can they get a stun? And the answer is they cannot. Yeah, so the Haka gets away, had to even sacrifice his cooldown on the ult. But at least they're surviving this. The problem is that this is now, of course, a seed that would spawn another set of Garden Terrors. And the red team has to push into it. They're trying to prevent it. And they also still have their push at the bot lane with the camp. So that's actually working in their favor here. The longer this lasts, the more damage that bot lane will do. If they then walk away with that seed, that would be a big win. This is going to take the wall out. So yeah, this is going to do something. Big fight over here though. Again, the Haka goes down. But so does Cassia. The jet propulsions come in, and that is a double kill. The damage dealers are all gone all of a sudden. Brightwing is being chased by Muradin, who misses his Stormbolt, and the intensive winds are saving the Fruit Fly here. Or do they? Muradin still thinks that he might be able to close the gap, but I don't... Whoa! Shizakid really wants this one. They got the objective now, but this is going to be a staggered death against Jihad. He's going to lose. It's not only Rhaegar here. Abathur is helping out too. So that is another staggered death. We have now 60 seconds for Mal'Ganis, and I think at this point it's highly likely that DDX is not only going to get some keeps here, but is actually going to make a play for the core itself. Topside keep is already about to be destroyed. I said Web Weavers, the Garden Terrors at the bottom of the map are going to take a little bit longer, but here in the middle it's inevitable that this keep is also going to fall. So a few of the heroes are going to revive in a moment. They're hoping to get another staggered kill here, but they can't take Brightwing out even with the Toxic Nest that were set up by Abathur. But the result should be the same. I don't think they can be stopped this time. This is a win for DDX. They tie the series up as they lock in the victory on Garden of Terror. Nicely done. Game number 3. Series is tied. So we have a point on the board for DDX. Maybe the cats are running out of lives after all. But now we're heading into Dragonshire for our next map. And again, this is the series that really matters. The winner of the series goes to the playoffs. The loser is out of the tournament. Mal'Ganis gets banned, and I absolutely understand this ban. We've now had Mal'Ganis picked on 2 maps, and both times he was an absolute menace. So I totally understand that they're going to try and eliminate that as an option for the Green Cats. Anything else would have shocked me. Now that we're heading into Dragonshire, Sylvanas is banned. But very curious what the cats still have up their sleeves. It was a bit of a relief, I gotta say, that on the last map, when they were behind, they for once did not recover. I got so used to during the last, I want to say 5 maps or so, that every single time when I think, okay, now the cats are cooked, all of a sudden they just win a team fight and cross the map and end the game. But this time DDX played it out, was able to get themselves the second objective, the Garden Terrors, and then took the core out. Brightwing really suffering, by the way, on Garden of Terror. Getting absolutely crushed and whacked around there. That whole thing with Emerald Winds not really working for the red team. So this time the strategy didn't play out. Now in Dragonshire you have to, of course, control a lot of space on the map if you want to get the objective. Control 3 points at the same time. We have Dehaka banned, so that global action that we're oftentimes getting with him on the top lane is not going to happen here. And Sylvanas, as I said earlier, also eliminated. Junkrat plus Mirrodin. Alright, Mirrodin is now in. We got Blaze as the first pick for the side lane for DDX. Still one of the strongest side laner, if not the strongest side laner in the game. Now, of course, for the cats, we could still get Hogga at the top lane. Leo is really good in that position. You could go Urel. She's fallen off a little bit. We've seen her more by Cure just the other day. But generally speaking, Urel not nearly picked as often as she was in the past. Maiev, though, and Chromie. I'm still waiting for that Sergeant Hammer pick for DDX and them trying with that Spider-Mine build that they showed in their previous Best of 5 series. Not something that they've busted out thus far. We're getting Chromie instead, but I honestly want to see what happens if at any point the Green Cats are getting back to banning Chromie out. If Dead Inside is actually considering going for that Sergeant Hammer build, or if that was just a thing that they felt would work against the previous opponent. Now, we got Garrosh banned. Anduin is very quickly banned as well. The two of them have history. It's understandable. So, both of them get the axe here. Now, what exactly are the cats going to do? So, we start things off with the Mirrodin. Lots of mobility that you have, can traverse terrain. We've seen that played by Dignitas and others in the past. Sonya! Potentially with a leap as a follow-up. And then we get Stukov. So, if all of a sudden you're starting to play this one out with Sonya jumping in with a leap, maybe Lurking Arm coming afterwards, a couple of traps being set by Junkrat, Mirrodin with Storm Bolts, alright. We'll see where you're going with this. Still curious what the final pick is going to be for them. But, well, before that, maybe a triple front line. Before that plays out, though, we got Jojo. And Brightwing gets now taken by the blue team. So at this point, they're just saying, okay, we've seen your fruit fly on Garden of Terror. We now show you how it's done. And here comes the dragon. Deathwing, ladies and gentlemen. Mirrodin, Sonya, and Deathwing for the Green Cats. We're heading into game number 3, Dragonshire. Game number 3, Shizakid on Johanna for the blue team, for DDX. We get Dead Inside on Chromie, Lopaka on Maiev. That's going to be a big one, of course. Virgil on Blaze, Danazovsky on Brightwing. Over on the right side, we get Mirrodin, played by Jayhard. We have the Green Cats with Critical on Junkrat. Guilty Spark is playing Stukov. Dracolic on Deathwing. He's going to be a bit less impressed by Maiev, I would assume. And then we get Drax on Sonya. Alright, we are off to the races. Which team is taking the lead in the Best of 5 series? Deathwing already moving slowly back down to the bottom part of the map. Can actually flank in here. A little Bermuda Triangle where heroes regularly disappear completely. But at the top of the map, Blaze is just going for structures. So, yeah, they're rotating late. And that was a really nice little play by DDX. They get the sidewall. They are destroying half of the hit points on the gate. And they're actually going to get even more. Because here comes a jet propulsion, a tether. Instantly, Sonya is in a little bit of trouble. But one tower is down, the sidewall is down, the gate is low. So that was pretty awesome. Blaze dodges the Stormbolt. Spear still connects. Yeah, but is he gonna make it? Yep, he actually escapes. That was close for a second, but he gets away. That was great value, though, for DDX. Nice, Mirrodin. Yeah, Maiev knew immediately what could potentially happen there and was making sure that the hearth would not be interrupted on Blaze's side. So good for them. By the way, down here at the bottom, real dragon, fake dragon. See the difference? A lot of people are very confused when I talk about this. But, yeah, Chromie, not a real dragon. As I keep saying, no self-respecting dragon. There's always this excuse that is being made. Ah, no, you don't understand. Chromie, she's a real dragon. She's just taking this form. It's absolute BS, obviously. I mean, no self-respecting dragon would take this form here if you can have that form. Real dragon, fake dragon. So I hope that cleared up any confusion that might remain. So a little bit of a PSA here. You can thank me later. But the imposter at the bot lane is going to get cooked as the game continues. There's going to be a couple of burns for sure. Either way, with level 4 talents now kicking in, we have in the middle of the map actually Shiza Kid getting pressured a bit. As Sonya would, of course, love nothing more than go for a Dragonite. Gets obviously interrupted. Is just keeping up with that. And as soon as Jojo is moving in, she's going to get slammed around a little bit. But Brightwing has retaken control up at the top now that the blue team is also pushing for the wall and starts to take this one out. And yeah, all focusing their aggression very heavily on the top lane. In the middle of the map, Sonya is still locked into this battle with Jojo. And down here, the attack continues. By the way, we also got a lot of wings in the game. So we have Dragon Wing over here. We got Bright Wing here. The only thing that's missing is Chicken Wing, which is my... look at this, by the way. That's a kill. You see who kills who? Real Dragon kills Fake Dragon. That is the power structure that we have here. Now, then, of course, the red team loses Sonya and they lose Deathwing. But that had nothing to do with Chromie, who is still an imposter. Hashtag don't trust Chromie. So, 2 kills to 1. Good for the blue team. They're at least able to pull that off. They also immediately move then towards the camp at the bottom of the map and hope to carry that momentum into some tangible advantages and results by pushing for that bottom wall. But yeah, I think they're going to check this out eventually. They have to hurry this up a bit or there's going to be even more people coming in and trying to take that one out. Double control. Deathwing in the middle. Can he go for the Dragonite? Sonya, anybody else? Nobody. But it's another kill against the red team. They're losing Stukov now. They're losing the shrine. And they're also, of course, with the help of the camp, now facing off against the push from the blue team. That loses them several of their structures. And they lose Junkrat. Seems like DDX got a little bit annoyed with the last 2 maps. They're just sitting there and it's like, how about we are speedrunning this? Let's go. Let's take them out. Just don't give them any room to breathe and murder them. That's exactly what they're trying here. Talking about murdering things. Muradin is a little bit low. Tries to help the team turn it against Jojo. That didn't help either. But, yep, Deathwing is still doing some solid work over here. Coming in. Terror! And just going full on Molten Flame on us. But with 4 kills to 1, the interesting part is that the blue team still hasn't picked up a lead in experience. So, yep, that has not happened yet. Mainly because of the minion experience. This is really where the green cats are currently excelling. Looking way better on this. Now, top side, 1v1, but not for long, because here comes Brightwing, Jet Propulsion, Tether. They want to go for Sonya. She's trying with a spin to win. Where's the next Jet Propulsion when you need it? Can they take him down? And the answer is, yes, they can. They're channeling the inner Obama here. And run that campaign through the top lane, straight for the fort. Chromie has been taken down at the bottom of the map once again. Notice something in this game. Only 1 hero dies on the blue team side. The blue team is playing a great series here so far, a great map. But again, when you have Chromie against Deathwing, Deathwing just gets angry. I would get angry too. Think about it. You're a majestic dragon, a glorious dragon. You're beautiful, you're strong, you're independent. And then all of a sudden, there's this little thing, I don't even know what I want to call this, waddling into a team fight. I'm a dragon! No, you're not. So, yep, they're just taking her down. Und mit was? Mit Recht. 5 kills to 3. Maiev at the top goes down, but they take the fort apart. So, I would still call hashtag worth it right there. The fight at the bottom of the map continues as we have the battle for the next shrine breaking out. And, well, there's a big shove happening. Jojo, she had still the trade up. Oh ho ho, but with Sonya's appearance, that could have backfired a bit. Talking about backfiring, maybe the red team, are they able to pick up Dragonite here? Still even in experience, by the way. Blaze is holding the mid lane. The first fort has been destroyed. The one at the bottom of the map is obviously still very, very low. And we have now Leap. So, as already expected earlier, Leap is in play for Sonya. Still trying to interrupt. They're taking the top again. Maiev is currently channeling this one out. There's a big shove. Jojo, a little bit of danger. And is, I guess, able to get out of this one. Alright, with the help of Blaze, she's able to escape. That one was important. I still want to see when we got that leap action in. Might get it now, but nice. Blessed shield out. Leap. Whoa, trying to get the kill. And they're not able to take off Blaze. But the disc now against Junkrat, as Maiev is also saying hello here, gets immediately met by a big shot from Stukov straight to the face. And that's goodbye for her in the team fight, at least initially. 5 kills to 3, both teams on level 12. The big difference is really that one fort that got destroyed. That's the big difference so far. And I suppose it could be a follow-up at the bottom of the map if they're getting the next fort taken out here too. The damage numbers, 20,000 for Junkrat. We have Chromie on 18,000. Jet Propulsion again missing for Blaze. Stormbolt connects though, but there's not enough follow-up to threaten the side lane of the blue team. Right Wing is now in. Yep, and the disc against Muradin, but I don't think they have the burst potential to really blow him up quickly enough before he can get any assistance here. So camp at the top, camp at the bottom of the map. One for each. Earlier level 13 talent just by the smallest of margins for the Green Cats. Muradin is again getting heavily attacked here, and he's actually eating a lot of damage, but I still don't think it's going to be enough to take him on, especially with him just turning it with a Stormbolt. Deathwing with a bit of a superhero entrance again. Scorched Earth everywhere. And we have now 13 on each side, with Muradin finally getting a bit more survivability. The synergy with a level 4 and a level 13 talent, thanks to the healing static and the double clap, is of course now ready. And it's going to help him in those big team fights a bit more. They're trading channels again. We're now 8.5 minutes in and we haven't seen a single Dragonite yet. No Dragonite thus far. They really want Muradin though. The Candy King, they want that candy. So, another Stormbolt against Blaze. Muradin is hitting those hard. And Sonya is rotating once again between the lanes, as the red team is actually getting a small lead in experience. It's mainly their minion experience where they excel. Shiza Kid also getting attacked over here, trying to make a move for him. Stukov with a lurking arm. Blessed Shield, by the way, is ready again. Oh, and he is low. And just walks out. Didn't even use his trait or anything. As Sonya is going for a bit of spin to win action to lock in the next camp for herself, so that she gets some added top pressure. Teams are obviously now looking also for the next levels, next talent. 16 is next up on the list. There's a camp down here. They go for Muradin. Can they stop him from jumping out? And the answer is yes, they can. The tether. The tether is in and Muradin gets murdered. Sonya has to be stopped at the top, but the camp gets claimed at the bottom of the map, and this should honestly help them to get even more damage in against the bottom fort. Top side, this is where Blaze is currently dealing with Sonya, at least trying to. So this fort is taking some damage, but not too much. The question is more what's going to happen now at the bottom of the map, because this is a big opportunity for DDX to take that fort out, and I think they're going to do that. Lopaka is maybe sticking around a little bit too long. They still weren't able to take it completely. Deathwing gets popped into a disc. And yeah, but the fort still stands. That's a little bit infuriating. They're going for Maiev now. They try to get the kill here. But Sonya dies. Nice. Sonya is gone. Nicely done. So with her eliminated, 7 kills to 3. And that's the Dragonite, baby. We're going DK. They got the Dragonite. Junkrat gets an ass kicking immediately. As down at the bottom of the map, they're now going for the fort and take this out. Level 16 talents are about to be ready for both of the teams. Blessed Shield. Oh, they are really looking for more kills now. Muradin, yeah, gets out. But while they're all focusing on the bot lane to try and defend here, and actually getting a kill. No, Brightwing gets away. They might get Jojo, though. Johanna, Brightwing, the save, and Deathwing died. You gotta be joking. No way. They turned it on Deathwing, In the middle, the Dragon Knight is about to go for the next 40 and takes it out. But look at that turn. Check this one out. They're low. They're so low. And then they're just looking at Deathwing and they're like, what if we just kill him? And Deathwing gets murdered. So now they're putting pressure onto the bottom keep already. Not a whole lot. I mean, again, it's the first Dragon Knight of the game and they get some damage in. But they already destroyed every single fort here. But absolutely nuts that they were able to get that turn kill the way that they did. And get all the value from the Dragon Knight. Now they got the disc out. They're coming in on Murden again. He jumps back out. But Blaze overstepped. Yeah, he wanted the jet propulsion, didn't connect it, and now they're on the run. But the red team is low. And there's the first kill. There's the second kill. What on earth? We get an absolute disaster area here. Chromie falls. That's the third time that she's dying. Everybody has now 3 heroes on the map. And, well, make it 2 because Maiev is gone. But then this is happening. So that is some easy damage on that top wall too. That nobody's dealing with right now. Jojo is still moving in. Was hoping to maybe get another kill here. But yeah, these fights are nuts. I mean, just look at this. Maiev just taking them on. Brightwing is coming in. They were the Blessed Hammer nearly got the kill against Junkrat. Blessed Shield was up on 4 seconds. This could have been a kill. Shizakid still trying to get away. I think they are getting a little bit too greedy here. Blessed Shield! And the kill! She dies, but she dies for a good cause. Oh man, that was great. I think they really, really overstepped a bit and Jojo would have died eventually. But then all of a sudden, Junkrat pops back up and she's like, wait a moment, I got my Blessed Shield ready, turns it around and they're getting a kill. So they're trading kills here, 11-7. The experience on both of them is still basically the same. 18 versus 18. But one team has lost every single fort. Look at the passive experience increase. This is a huge gap now. But then you look at the minion XP, and this is really where it becomes crazy. Sonya dead now too. Deathwing, I would be a little bit careful here. So, yeah, they need to also get away from that camp. If when they fight into this after it's being taken already, it's gonna get tricky. So, Chromie is starting to get damage in. Murden is about to go down. Hops out straight onto Chromie. Tries to take her apart. But then Deathwing is gone. He's dead. And Murden is not gonna make it either, is he now? Nope. Gets fully obliterated. And now they're closing in on level 20. But look at the minion experience. This is the big thing here. Hero experience. Basically, the blue team is doubling what their opponent has. On top of that, we have, of course, the passive XP. There's a lot of areas where they are ahead. But it's just crazy how much higher the overall minion experience is for the Green Cats. Just shows how diligent they were around all of the minion waves. Dragon Knight number 2 has now been claimed. They go for that bot lane pressure and Junkrat, careful my friend. Guys, they're gonna go for the core here. This keep is basically gone already. Like, what else are you gonna do? There's the disc. If they can kill Sonya here, it's just lights out. And she's not looking good. She needs to jump out. She can't. She's dead. Sonya goes down. That's game. That's game. That is game. They take down Stukov too. Too many kills. 15 minutes in. Dragon Knight might not be insanely strong just yet, but it's definitely strong enough to help them here. Junkrat is also eliminated. That is a 2-1 lead for DDX against the Green Cats. They take 2 in a row, and now we're heading into match point number 1 of this best of 5 series. GG. Match point number 1, game number 4, Tomb of the Spider Queen is the map and the choice was made by the Green Cats. They lost on the last map, then obviously have the choice whether they want to go for first pick, first ban, or whether they prefer to go for the map, and they chose Tomb of the Spider Queen. And the first thing that gets banned again by DDX is Mal'Ganis. I really don't blame them. I think the Mal'Ganis ban is something that is very, very important here, given how much of an impact the hero had in both of the first 2 games. So, Tomb of Spider Queen also has a map choice. Pretty cool. We haven't seen it today, I think, yet. should get a lot of action here as well. And of course, once again, especially when we're talking about wave clear, it's going to reign supreme here. Might see some different mages. For example, Gul'dan is always a welcome alternative here. I think maybe an early pick on Mephisto again for the Green Cats. They played Mephisto on Infernal Shrines already, and even, I believe, first picked him at some point. So this would be a choice that they could make if they want to get some mage damage in and get that wave clear. Gul'dan is another option, as just pointed out. You can still play this one, obviously, with Junkrat, with Hanzo, Genji come in. Highly depends. But there's lots of different approaches to Tomb of the Spider Queen. Lately, we've, for example, seen a lot more Tassadar, too. So that's another one. But Jojo is a potential first pick. She just excels on the map. Offers fantastic interrupt potential and can give you added wave clear on the lanes. Blue team decides against her. I would be shocked to not see her picked by one of the two teams. Oftentimes she even gets banned, but I would be absolutely flabbergasted by nobody addressing her. So Dehaka is the first choice. Dehaka, fantastic on any map. Gives you the wave clear, gives you the licks. Now we have even a global. I mean, it's a smaller map, but still, you can use it quite a lot. So we get Falstad for critical and Thrall. Didn't think that would be your first rotation. Honestly, if you would have asked me what do you think the first rotation is going to be from the Green Cats, it would have taken a while until I mentioned those two heroes. That Jojo isn't taken here blows me away. And the blue team then says, alright, if you don't want her, hell yeah, we're going to take her. And they get Chromie on top of that. So, that is a big start into the draft. Chromie, Jojo, and Dehaka, they're going to be very happy with this. Very, very happy. Alright. Sylvanas gets banned. I'm a little bit sad that we don't see that Sergeant Hammer strategy again, but then again, I don't really know how much DDX really wants to rely on that strategy in important games like this one. But it was cool to see that in the previous series. Cho'Gall! Okay, alright. So we're getting Cho'Gall. This is starting to make a little bit more sense. So, Falstad, Thrall, and Cho'Gall for the Green Cats. Yeah, DDX. Okay, so, how are they going to play this now? They need something against Cho'Gall here. They already picked their side laner. They could go for an auto attacker that gets some extra damage in against Cho'Gall. But this went wild quickly. The Green Cats with a Cho'Gall pick. Hanzo and Oriel. Trying to take Oriel away from the red team, obviously. So they pick her themselves. And they got Hanzo too. So it's gonna get interesting. Here comes Alexstrasza, and boy are we in for a treat. Tomb of the Spider Queen. Match point number 1. Game number 4. Let's go. Getting ready for some double trouble over here. Game number 4, and it got spicy. The draft certainly started to make things interesting here. Shizakid on Johanna. We have Dead Inside on Chromie for the blue team. Lopaka with Hanzo, and then Danazovsky with Oriel towards the end. Virgil is playing Dehaka, and over on the right side, it is double trouble time. Critical on Gal, and we got Dreoclick on Cho. With Guilty Spark on Alexstrasza, we're getting Jayhard on Falstad, and Drax, still the biggest level 1 talent, has chosen Thrall. So, what's the name here? Dralf! Something like that at least. But okay. With Trolling Thunder on level 1, we have also for Alexstrasza straight the quest on her level 1 talent. Obviously, everybody is already catching a bit of vision, trying to see, hey, where's Cho'Gall doing? What else is happening here? Looking at Circle of Life and the Calloused Hide, plus also the We See You. Yeah, we see you too. You're hard to miss, my friend. Now, down at the bottom of the map, that's where we're going to see our side laners make the moves. Dehaka, Virgil. He's going to go up against Thrall here throughout all of this, whereas up in the middle and the top, this is where the battle against Cho'Gall already starts up. And you can already tell, I mean, there's no Tychus here with the bigger they are. There's no Leo for drains. So, not really that immediate Grey main pick, for example, that would allow you to get a bullet out and get some Alpha Wolf action in. But, yeah. They're trying to... the whip actually missed because of this, okay. But still, can they deal with Cho'Gall as the game continues? Right now it doesn't look like it. It actually looks like we're going to see some kills against the blue team, and there's the first one. Hanzo is gone. So yeah, he gets quickly eliminated. No gems lost or anything of the sorts. But yeah, color me intrigued how this game is going to go here. Jojo is now moving easily back out. And of course, that damage is already done at the wall. A little bit. They're just nibbling away, one hit point after another. Gems are coming together for both of the teams. We now have a slight lead on that too for the red team. I mean, basically because of the first kill here, they're already attempting to turn in. That's obviously one of the problems when you're playing Cho'Gall on a map like this, is that it is way easier for the opponent's team to just keep tabs on the heroes. You have only 4 bodies on the map, and that is something that you can try and take advantage of. It's kind of funny, by the way, to me, that all the teams that have cats in their name seem to like Cho'Gall. The 3-legged cats have also played Cho'Gall. Cho'Gall sometimes gets banned against them. And now in this case, it's the green cats that are doing the same thing. So there is something about cats and Cho'Gall. Something there. Now, the level 4 talents, we get the Exuberance. We have also Seared Flesh. Cho'Gall is a little bit low. Get nearly hammered into the ground here. Might have to retreat. The problem also when you go back to the Nexus with Cho'Gall is, of course, you're all of a sudden missing basically 2 heroes. And that makes it, at least for the Hearth and return time, a bit more tricky for the rest of the team. Not a lot of mercenary camps claimed by DDX, actually none. Whereas the red team has already taken the Bruiser camp. We have 16 gems turned in. Cho'Gall gets whipped out, needs to be a bit careful as his pocket healer in the form of Alexstrasza, of course. She's sitting at 6 stacks now on a level 1. It's an easy quest to complete when you're playing on Tomb of the Spider Queen. It's just easy to rotate between the lanes and get some value there. But they're now getting also more siege giants. Well, more camps, or are they? Because they're actually getting attacked here. Dehaka looking for that drag. Chromie. And I think they are going to get that kill on Thrall. Thrall is caught on the wrong side. So that's the camp taken. Thrall dies, but so does Dehaka. They still get the camp, so this is a win at the end of the day. Dragon Queen transformation. But now with Danazovsky dying is a bit of a different story. Because not only did they lose another hero, but I think they missed also out on at least a few gems. Not too many. But that still is a bit annoying. Siege Giants claimed was nice initially, but then you lose a second hero and yeah, 3 kills to 1 now overall. Cho'Gall still with 20 that he currently holds, and the Dehaka is already coming back. But we have the blue team now in a position where they can get the first objective. So yeah, that's the good news on them. Now, quest nearly completed for Hanzo. We have also with level 7 Dehaka with his quest talent again. 10 stacks now for Alexstrasza. So she's getting a lot of those. Yeah, she's gonna get a lot of work done with this. Chromie is dead. Try to run away as quickly as those short legs would carry her, but chased down by Thrall and by Alexstrasza, that was just not happening. So the War Chief came in, Green Jesus, and took her out. That's a lot of gems now also delivered by the Green Cats, so it might actually be the red team that gets the first set of Web Weavers after all. Blue team was closing in, but they just can't deliver those final gems as it seems. Down at the bottom of the map, Dehaka is still up against Thrall and gets a bit of an assist here. Some nice hits, and the whip. Get behind that wall, get out of here. You, with your ugly mug, hide it behind the wall, go through that gate. And yeah, they just chased Thrall away. The kill count for the cats is pretty decent. They got some nice kills through this. Level 10 will change a lot here. But the turn-in still hasn't happened. Also, if you're the blue team right now, if you get that turn-in, the problem is of course that your opponent will hit the earlier level 10 ability. This would give you some time. Jojo is the one with all the gems for the blue team. But they're turning in at the bottom of the map. So they still had 20 on Johanna, but they're able to get the turn in at the bot lane. Oh, Hanzo! Alright, he gets out. That was clutch for a second, because if he dies there, then that's a tricky one. And there is still damage coming. They're going through the choke point, but the heals from Auriel are also coming through time and time again. tons of hope for her. Here's the level 10 abilities for both teams. And instantly the Gust doesn't sync too well with what Shogal is trying to do here. We got Aegis for Oriel. No Resurrect this time. And they're trying to burn some of those walls out. And of course attempt to also damage the forts themselves. But yep, the attacks are coming now mainly through the middle. Quick defense by Cho'Gall is down at the bottom of the map. We're looking at Hanzo plus the Haka doing damage. And that wall will also be destroyed. They're taking the towers down as we speak. Top side, Falstad already done with the defense, but they lost the wall here as well. And Cho'Gall is now rotating down to the bottom of the map to help to defeat the final Red Weaver. They are looking for the kill. They can't get it. Not able to take Cho'Gall down. That would of course been a nice double kill for them. The Haka is still sitting in the middle of the map. But this first objective didn't give the blue team too much. It gave them some damage. They were able to take on the walls, damage some of the forts. Chromie is now dealing with the top here. Slowing Sands is, by the way, the dominant talent in most cases these days. Not this many temporal loops anymore. One single globe away from Alexstrasza completing her quest and then getting, of course, a lot more heals out of all of this. But it's a little bit of a slow start into the game. Everybody is playing mega cautious here. Shogal obviously is a late game menace, so he's going to be happy when he makes it into the late game and gets even more survivability tools. And it feels like the blue team was just not willing to deal with him here. Nice drag, but nobody to follow up on this. Just imagine if they can get Falstad. 34 gems. If you deny them those, that would be insane. So Cho'Gall eats the damage again. But he's also throwing it out. I mean, Gal is right now at 20,000 damage. Hanzo's a bit ahead of him. Cho himself on 15k. Thrall is still at the bottom of the map. The blue team, by the way, is turning in more and more gems. They're actually doing a fantastic job securing as many of the gems as they can. Specifically, Johanna turned in, and she, of course, had a lot. So Cho'Gall also hit hard, but doesn't change the fact that Guilty Spark is doing pretty okay here. They get the Falstad kill, and Falstad held all those gems. Now they go over to Thrall. He's sitting at nearly 50. They try to body block him, and they miss out on that kill. But that would have been glorious for them. They're not able to pull it off, though. So the Falstad, the death of Falstad was huge. Hanzo with a big arrow as well. But, yeah, Thrall is now the one that holds all of the gems. The blue team gets a second Web Weaver wave. But if they really want to make sure that they're shutting the door on any attempt of the cats to come back into the game, then they need to take out Thrall eventually. Because they are still even with the opponent's team. Each team is on level 13, has the 13 talent now. They might even be able to take a fort out, but the problem still is no experience lead, currently no structural advantage either. That might come now. So if the red team gets a double turn all of a sudden, it's a really different story. Cho'Gall defending in the middle. Falstad! Whoa! Sliver of health, and he barely gets away. That could have been the end of the birdie. Top side, the fort should fall. Here in the middle, they do damage, but I don't think they can take it out. The arrow, yeah, missing. Flying straight over to China. And all the way at the top lane, as already expected. Again, this one is going to fall. So one fort is down, the one in the middle on half HP. But this is all happening off the second objective already. So it's not crazy. It's not anything too glorious here yet. 2 kills to 4, so not a lot of kills coming together for them. But, well, we see them slowly pulling ahead on structures. Experience gains. It's really that hero experience where the green cats are pulling a little bit ahead. Passive experience is, of course, now slowly going to increase for DDX. And they still need to turn this in. Oh, Thrall has 56. 56 gems. They go for the camp, by the way. So they're trying to take the mercenaries over on the left side. Thrall is showing at the bottom of the map, so they know exactly where he is. Johanna has been guarding the top. They only need 5 gems for a turn-in. They hold 95 now. That's nearly 3 turn-ins in total. It's not quite there, but it's dangerously close to it. Quest completed. Nicely done. So another wall's done by Oriel. She completes her level 4 quest. As Cho'Gall gets attacked again. Thrall also sitting at the sides here. Just continuously increasing his stacks. and the gems that he's holding. Yeah. I mean, again, they're all the entire... It's a little bit... I don't want to say it's a stalemate, but it's a bit of a standoff situation where everybody is just looking for someone to get out of position so they can finally capitalize on something. Maybe get the play initiated. There's obviously always a gust that Falstad, for example, could get. And they're now trying to create the space, but the interrupt happens again as Hanzo goes for the scatter shot. Here comes the arrow. Do we get the blessed shield? Hell yeah, we do. The follow-up is ready, and they get a kill on Falstad. The attack against Jojo, but they're trying to turn it now on the Haka. And with Falstad dying again, there's also some Siege Giants at the bottom of the map that are trying to do damage to the fort here. The level 16 talents are available. Thrall still needs to be very, very careful. Goes up against Hanzo now as we have the fight centering around there. Cho'Gall. He gets hit, but is once again able to retreat with his mobility. But they don't have a level 16 talent yet. And the blue team nearly has enough gems for another turn-in. That would be their third one in a row if they're pulling it off. But the dangerous part is really that the cats have so many gems as well. They hold a lot. Fort in the middle is getting destroyed. Falstad is, of course, now back. So that's 2 forts now gone. And, yeah, he doesn't like the situation at all. He's just like, if they're trying to beeline for me through the middle, then I have a problem. Draconic Discipline is ready. Big increase for the Dragon Queen with the 6 seconds. So that's a huge one. Big, big talent for Alexstrasza now. And the blue team is going to deliver the next set of gems. Bam, there it is. Blue Web Weavers. Once again. 3 in a row. Hanzo alone at the bottom of the map. And he's already helping to take this fort down a notch. Even before the Web Weavers are even here. And honestly, with the red team just trying in the middle of the map to try and force a fight and see if they can get a kill before the Web Weavers touch ground, that fort's gone. Fort of the bot lane is gone. Web Weavers are in. How much can they do with those, though? This is going to be tough to get into a spot where they can actually do damage on one of those keeps. Taking walls out is probably the best that they can hope for. But the big, big danger that is still in the game for DDX is all of the gems that the cats are holding. Yeah, just have so many gems, it's nasty. Now, the wall slowly gonna fall here. It's not a lot of heroes or abilities that they have that can totally crush structures. Blessed Shield, and that's a kill. Thrall is gone. If they can safeguard those gems, that would be insane. But Cho'Gall moves in and hits the 100. Cho'Gall is sitting on 100 gems right now. Secret mount unlocked, baby. Right there. They killed Thrall, finally blowing up. He loses all the gems. But Cho'Gall, with the massive hit point pool that he has, just moves in and says like, yep, all your gems belong to me. Gimme, gimme, gimme. So, that's 100 gems on Cho'Gall alone. Holy hell. Alright. So, damage output. We now have 38,000 for Gall. 48,000 for Hanzo. They are going for a boss at the top, by the way. And they are going to get it if they have a little bit more time. And I don't think that the red team even realizes what's going on. They're trying to turn in, again, moving down to the bottom of the map. Chromie, Dehaka, they're both not here. There's the interrupt, buying a little bit more time. Dehaka is not ready, though. They're going to get the turn in. And they're going to kill Chromie, aren't they? Nope. Chromie survives. Oh, the lick! The interrupt! No way! He came and he saw and he denied the turn in. Alexstrasza gets wrecked. Cho'Gall needs to run and he needs to run fast. And there's already the boss at the top. They try to go for Thrall again, but he's able, or he should be able to escape. There's no more tools on Jojo that she can use. But this is big damage topside too. And of course they got the big lead in experience now. 19.5. They're closing slowly on level 20 talents, but they want the top keep. And this is dangerous for the red team. They don't have a healer here. They don't have a healer, and Cho'Gall has 100 gems. 100 gems for the big boy. That is just too much. So topside keep takes lots and lots of damage, but I don't think they're going to commit too hard. They're going to poke maybe a little bit more. That catapult gets another shot off. But yeah, the keep is low, but it's not destroyed. 42 gems that they themselves hold and can turn in, and they do it immediately. 120 gems in total for the Green Cats now. It's massive. The interrupt from the Haka was beautiful. Virgil with such a fantastic interrupt here. That was pretty sexy. Cho'Gath would have turned in, and normally it's like the defense against the boss versus the defense against the Web Weaver. Not so much here. By the way, 13 stacks now on the Reservoir of Hope. Right there. So this is actually a pretty decent increase that she already holds. 13 stacks is pretty... I mean, this is going to have a big impact. So, yeah. 20 talents are available. That gives us the upgrade also on the Aegis with the Diamond Resolve here. And we get blinded by light, so they want to have a few more tools that give them survivability against what Cho'Gath can potentially pull off in the late game. They try and steal the camp here, and they can. So there we have it. Camp is already taken, and now we have a camp in the middle and one at the bottom of the map. Ball cells still sitting at the top, and, well, DDX is getting close to getting a 4th turn in. Guys, the red team hasn't gotten a single turn in yet. They were sitting on 45 gems for such a long time, it's actually crazy. And now there's enough gems available for DDX to get a 4th turn in a row. 4 in a row. And that's wild. That's absolutely wild. So, there it is. They haven't lost a single fort yet themselves. They're about to knock down some keeps. And the amount of turn-ins is just bonkers. Blue team again with the Web Weavers. 63,000 damage from Hanzo. 46,000 damage from Gal. Cho himself with 38k. Top lane, this is where the keep is obviously being threatened the most. But down at the bottom of the map, they also escorted this in very nicely. And they're starting to take a lot of this out. Cho'Gath is focusing his attention on the bottom of the map. The Haka is already at the top. There's the Gust. Been waiting for a Gust engage all game. Diamond Resolve is in. Cho'Gath, the isolation hits. Auriel tries to get out. Where's that heal when you need it? There it is. They kill Thrall. Thrall is gone. Auriel survives with another heal. No! And another one! Auriel survives. They go for Cho'Gath. He can't die. He has 100 gems. He gets licked. He tastes horrible, but the Haka sacrificed himself for the cause. And that is the kill on Cho'Gath. Alexstrasza gets all of those gems, but she dies as well. 100 gems are gone. This is it. Ladies and gentlemen, DDX advances to the playoffs. It's a 5-man team wipe as they take down the Green Cats and eliminate them from the tournament. Congratulations to DDX. And what a series. GG.